How's it going, everybody? I'm Drifty from Driftwood Gaming. In this special request RPG Maker MV tutorial, I'm going to help Kahoob with a kind of funny question. He's basically asking, how do I make pissing a game mechanic? So he goes, he wants to make like a water or a beer, as he showed me a picture here, that is going to increase your attack power, but you have to use the restroom before you can use another one. It sounded like a super easy thing to do, and I tried to mess around with it, and I found out what was giving him some trouble. But basically, the limitation is you can only use the restroom after you drink a beer or the item, and then you can only use the item after you've gone to the bathroom. Okay, so we can see that this little piece of crap here is going to be our makeshift toilet. Let's look at our status real quick. We're going to see that we have 1,020 strength here. So we want our item, let's get that item, that beer, to give us 5 extra attack after using the bathroom. So beer for thugs, permanent plus 5 attack after using the bathroom, and you can't use 2 in a row. So let's use one. Boom. It's giving us a state, and it's also turning on a switch. And let's see if we can use another one. You have to use the bathroom before drinking another beer. Still have that state, the switch is still on, let's use the bathroom. Now it lets us use it, we went to the bathroom, can we use the bathroom again? No, we can't, because we don't need to. And let's look at our status, and we can see that we gained that 5 extra strength there. So, can we repeat the process? Yes, we can. But we can't have 2 beers at the same time. We have to use the bathroom. So that's a little method there to, I guess, a pissing mechanic. We've made a pissing mechanic. Let me show you how I made that pissing mechanic. Pretty simple the way it ended up being, but you need the event for your toilet event. And basically, you're going to need a switch to toggle if you've drank a beer or not. Animation and all that stuff is just flashy stuff that it's up to you for the show text and the animation, what you want it to look like. The simple mechanics is conditional statement, and then inside that conditional statement, we're going to check, actually before we look at this event, we should look at the item, because you're going to have to make an item for this. So the item of beer here, it's going to have the description that it lets the player know it gives them 5 attack after they use the bathroom. It's going to be occasion whenever you want it to be. Always, yes, it's going to be consumable, scope 1 ally. It's going to add a state of drank beer, and it's going to call a common event of drank beer. So the state doesn't need anything, it just needs to be a state that we can reference. So nothing in that, doesn't need any removal conditions, just a state, an icon would be good too. Let's look at the common event for that. For the common event, we just call it, drank a beer. The condition for that is a switch that's off. So we're going to need 1 switch for this, and we're going to make the condition say if that switch is off, then we're going to turn that switch on. Otherwise, it's going to say you have to use the bathroom before drinking another beer, and then it's going to re-award that item back. So we're going to do a change items here. The reason why we have to re-award that item is it's going to consume that item just to call this common event, whether it actually adds the state or not. So you have to, on the else handler, you have to do change items and give that item back so that it can be recalled. So we've got the item, we've got the state, we've got the common event made. Now we'll jump into this event. So we're going to make the first conditional statement saying if that drank beer switch is on, that's the condition, but we're also going to do check the else branch. So we're checking the else branch. And if it is on, we're going to do another conditional state. And this is another conditional branch that's checking a player if they have the state. And you have to do this for every player in your game, every actor in your game. So we're going to say if the actor, this first person, has the state of drank beer, then we're going to say change parameter by giving that 5 attack and remove that state. And then so you can just copy this, and we can just simulate if we were doing the next character. We would change this to the next character, and then we would change the next thing to say affect the next character, and we'll change the state removal to affect the next character by removing that state. And then at the end of all of those conditionals, 1 small conditional for each actor, you turn off the drank beer switch. On the else handler for the main drink a beer on switch, the else handler is just going to say you don't need to use the bathroom. This is an action button, and there's really nothing complicated to it. But yeah, that's how to do it, Kahoob. I actually tried to do it a different way by handling it all in a common event, to where as soon as you use the item, it lets you, it gives you the 5 attack. And the problem with this, if you only have one character, it becomes a very easy process to do this with one character. With one character, you can handle all of that stuff right here and say change state here, and you can actually get rid of the state itself and just do change parameters right here. But the thing is, you have to, like, it's hard to determine which character used it. I actually tried to make a little script call for it with the for loop that would check which actor uses it. It checks all actors, and then for every actor that has the state, we're going to add parameters and remove the state. For some reason, I couldn't get it to work. I'm a failed programmer. I bodged my plugins together. But yeah, so this is a way to make it work the way that I've showed you. Hopefully it's helpful, Kahoob. It still achieves the same thing, except you have to relieve yourself before you get the permanent bonus. But anyway, I thought it was an interesting idea of making pissing as a game mechanic. So hopefully you guys like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Put your special requests in the comments. I do answer most of them. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I have lots of RPG Maker MV content. I do first impressions, and I'm finally getting recognized by game companies, and they're sending me free stuff and offers so that I can play games, get press release. So look forward to upcoming videos. I'm going to have some early access press released games, first impressions for RPGs and strategy games and stuff. So yeah, that's exciting. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that content. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching once again. We'll see you in the next video.